not why anybody would be mad.
That's just wrong. Like, anyone should be able to marry anyone.
You should feel happy that they're getting married.
People that do not like gay, they're good. Gay is bad for you.
So if someone was your friend and they turned out to be gay, would you still be their friend?
No.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kwakwadash. To honor my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the video we just watched and how it touches upon the spiritual marks that are upon the Israelites and our adversaries, the Edomites. The Edomites being the biblical name for the so-called Caucasian race. But before we get into that, let's read this. This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Now, this is ultimately talking about these Edomites, okay, and how they're not the same as your average Israelite, okay. The soul that is within them is different than the soul that's within us Israelites, okay. This is why we have different spiritual markers, okay. And what we just watched now in the video was, it looked like 3 Edomite kids who were down with abomination versus the 4th Israelite kid. Looked like he was of a tribe of the Issachar. He wasn't down with it, right? He just spiritually, he just knew it wasn't right, right? What did he say? Where they ask him if he found out his friend was swinging for the other team, would he be friends with him? He said nope, right? See, because even at that age, you have a sense of good and evil, okay? And the thing is that the Israelites' sense of morality is going to be different than the sense of morality that these Edomites have. And from looking at these Edomites and the things that they're into, even when they're small, it's a totally different spirit. This is Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. So you see, the spirit inside of these Edomites is that of chaos, of wickedness, right? It does the opposite of righteousness, okay? This is why there's you always see videos coming out of these Edomites when they're kids just doing naturally wicked things, right? I remember there's a video, came out a long time ago, but basically it was this little English Edomite girl, and her mom basically found the wrapper of some chocolate that I guess the little girl had taken or eaten or something, and she confronts the little girl, and the little Edomite girl says, "Oh, it was a black man that did it. He broke into the house and he took it." Right? The mom's just laughing there, right? Because it's funny, right? It's funny that this little girl was able to say that shit, but deep down at its foundation, that again is just a spiritual marker. You see, all these things that we're seeing like this, right, where you have Edomites vouching for wickedness versus the other nations that are out here basically rejecting these things, that right there is really, it's a tell on these Edomite spirit. Because you see, one of the prophecies that are going to take place during the end days is that the whole world is going to ultimately realize who the son of perdition is, right? Who are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Now, what we've been watching little by little, things like this where you have the alphabet community coming out in full force trying to indoctrinate kids, push it down everybody's throat. Or you got wickedness like this. All right, this right here. Pope Francis authorizes blessing for same-sex couples. Okay, now this just came out today. Now this obviously was in the works for a couple of months because you kept hearing about this stuff. But look, this is the man who is supposedly the head of the church or religion upon the face of the earth, right? Or at least Christian, Catholic religions on the earth. This is supposedly the man in charge of that. Right? He's supposed to be the closest thing to God that we have on earth. Now we here, under the truth of the Bible, right, know that this is a complete lie, that this guy here is a devil, okay? And his organization, the Vatican, is a tool of the devil to deceive the masses, to give them false religion, so that way the world can continue on going, doing wickedness. But again, just the simple fact of them doing this and all the things they've come out, a couple of months ago he came out talking about how transsexual women are God's daughters, right? So this guy here just keeps going off, right? He keeps making religion into a running joke. But what did the scriptures say about that? This is Matthew 7:2. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. Right? And the people like the Vatican, Pope Francis, these Edomites that come out, right, even at this young age to push abomination, to support it, right? You shall know them by their fruits. Okay, this is what they're about. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. You see, at this time, the apostles, they were going throughout the known world at the time, right? And the thing is that not all Israelites looked like so-called black people, right? You got to remember, by the time that the New Testament came onto the scene and the Messiah came and was crucified, resurrected, and then went on and left the apostles behind, that was already about 500 years. I'd say 300 to 500 years that the Israelites had started to go into captivity, or at least I should say the southern kingdom, right? The northern kingdom, we got kicked out of the land around 700 BC. 600 BC, we came over here to the Americas. The southern kingdom then went into captivity under Babylon. And then later on, when they returned back home to Jerusalem in 333 BC, Alexander, the Macedonian, the Greek, he came by and basically conquered Jerusalem. And ever since then, the southern kingdom had been under captivity. At first it was a light captivity, and then later on, when you read the book of Maccabees, you see how evil and wicked the captivity ended up being. How a lot of the Israelites could not even claim to be Israelites or even practice our customs. So a lot of our people went away to these other nations and started to live as these other heathen nations. So again, just like back in the days when this scripture was created, right? You have the same thing going on today. You have the Israelites scattered amongst all the other nations, and we really can't tell who Israelites are based off of the skin color, but more likely it's going to be the spirit in them and what they do and just the vibe we get from them. Okay, this is why you can tell who is an Israelite or who may be an Israelite foreigner and who could be an Edomite, and ultimately it has to do with just the spirit they give off, right? If they're naturally inclined to do wickedness and they just don't have the spirit of an Israelite, then more likely they're an Edomite, but in race face, right? Basically, their father is an Edomite, but their mother is of one of the other nations. Now, we see a lot of that nowadays, especially amongst the Asian nations, the nation that Esau loves to mingle himself with, right? But again, just like the videos in the front of this lesson, and also this message of the Vatican basically approving same-sex marriage, this is right here. It's proof that these Edomites, be it individually or through their organizations are starting to reveal themselves, and that's because their spirit is telling on them. Okay, so either way, I know this lesson, it was a quick, I just wanted to make a quick point on this video I seen. Thought it was pretty spiritual, so hopefully it was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.